Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you this episode is brought to you by patrons like Akko Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Mr. Flores, Sodasan0424, and VideoGamer75. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it will help us out. Thanks for your support, everybody.
Thank you. You got on me.
That's way better than me doing any kind of sound cue or anything. Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk Fate Grand Order. I'm one of your hosts, Omega. With me, as always, is Lucky, and today we are your big, beautiful rainbow in the sky. All right. Hopefully, I'm noticing there's a lot more. My mic was a little weird before we got started, so I don't know if I got my normal levels adjusted. There seems to be a little bit more background noise on the recording than usual, but hopefully, editing my ceaseless work will filter that out later, so you don't get anything in the final product.
Yeah, so I got my fan on in the back. And I've actually turned it down, but I'm sorry, Megan. I'm not going without my fan.
That's okay. It's summer. No, it's officially summer, dude. Trust me, I don't wish that on anybody.
But everyone,
I
hope
also
you're enjoying
my sound
Fate
figure.
Grand Order, aka a story about stories. And while we here at Studio Manga like to bring you the latest FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EN version of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should just do their best Dokuza so they don't die.
So, one thing that might have helped with my sound being weird was my headphones were not plugged quite all the way in. We're professionals.
We're super fresh.
The professions.
We put the fresh and professional.
Okay. Well, we're here. We're doing the show. We got lots of stuff to do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it later. But a lot of news, a lot of new stuff. Lots of old new stuff. All the same stuff. Well, let's go ahead and check in with everybody's favorite Kohai real quick. Let me make sure that I can, in fact, do a sound cue.
Senpai! 起きてください.
That's right, everybody. It's been more than 30 seconds, so it's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, our regular segment for pro tips. So, today, just a simple reminder. We may have given advice like this before, but I'm not sure we've ever given this specific tip. Excuse me, got a little scratchy there. Reminder, hey, you can hoard EXPs for great or super success increases. So, for example, if while you're waiting for the anniversary stuff to happen, which will involve a little event and some other bonuses and stuff, if you do farm some EXPs, or hey, the month's about to roll over, if you buy some extras from DaVinci's shop, you can save those until the anniversary event when great and super success chances go up, so you can get some extra mileage out of them.
Yeah, remember,
just food for thought.
Those costs for actually enhancing your servants actually increases dramatically once you get into upper levels. So basically being able to level up as few times as possible will actually help you out your QP woes out in the long run, too.
It's a little strategery for you there. It's a pro tip. Alright, well,
this is a segment for a pro tip.
Yeah. I don't have anything recently other than, I guess this would technically be an achievement, I guess. We both completed the chapter, we'll be talking about it later.
Oh, yeah. I have feelings. I have thoughts.
We have thoughts and feelings, and our community has them. And they're not as bad as many people said they would be, though there is still some concerns. But we will get there.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot. This is going to be a long show.
Yeah, it is. But, so to keep moving along, I'm gonna, this is Lucky here. This is his, record from the throne. But, first off, you may call Lucky Oathbreaker now, because, unfortunately, the bandwagon mentality got me. The itch was strong. And I spent just enough money to do a single 10 roll. I did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my Summer 2 servants. I have failed you. But it's alright, though, because the stars are right, and Lucky acquired a Scheherazade. I haven't had this look this good in a while, so, I'm like, can't fault myself too much for it. My mindset was that I wasn't going to spend anything I already had, and I was just going to get something a little bit extra. But, I still spent it. So,
Also,
I like to call this ambiguously gray. What's up?
In case you didn't double pick that up from the spoiler warning, yeah, having completed the chapter, we're going 100%.
Oh, yeah.
We will use real names and everything.
So, on the other side, I got Ryder Kentucky to 80, so I can at least mark that off. I was gonna go get Scheherazade up to 90, but I forgot. New servants usually require new materials, and I don't have a fuck ton of Divine Wine yet.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's much like the problem we both had with Gorgon and the Gallstones.
Yeah.
Scheherazade needs, 6 or 8 wines, ultimately, and you only get, 3, I think.
4, I think.
Maybe 4? Dunno. It's
So
not a lot.
Yeah.
Considering.
Is there actually a farming node in like Agartha?
Yeah, there'll
Gosh,
be a Hydra node, and that's where you get them from.
Somewhere.
You get them from Hydras. I haven't.
I'd probably
I'm
just
still
wait
working
till
through
they
my
appear in the
backlog of clearing up Shinjuku free quests.
Yeah, I gotta do that too. Well, see, now
but-
that Agartha here, now I can actually go back. All right, let me go clear out Shinjuku.
Yeah, I'm all done with Babylonia free quests. I had like one of those lingering. Now I'm working on some Shinjuku ones, but I'm not focused because there's other gacha stuff going on. But we'll talk about that
Oh my god.
tomorrow on What's Up, because we're actually doing a What's Up this week.
Yeah.
We'll also discuss why we didn't do a What's
actually-
Up last week, which was the short version is we were tired and didn't have anything to talk about.
I mean, I could fat for 2 hours, but at that point, it's just me fat for 2 hours. It's not really.
Yeah,
it's just...
when you have low energy, the faff isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I guess I'll keep talking about this. So with the summer rerun, like literally just over the hill. Like everyone remember, if you got summer servants, get them leveled up. That's like actually my goal. For the next week is I'm trying to work on my summer servants because if y'all remember last year I was a fucking absolute madman and I rolled every single summer 1 servant. And I only have one of them max level, and that is Archer, Mary and Anne. So I'm
All
like,
of my 2 summer servants are perfectly ready.
yeah.
All 2.
So, of course. So now I have to look at all these servants and be all like, I am fucking mad. Why did I do this?
You always have that problem.
I
Ooh, a
forget,
new
are the
banner. I'm
summer
going to
one
clear out
servants-
everybody. Oh, fuck. What am I doing? I don't have the QP for this.
I actually have like 50 million, so I'm like if it's any time, it's now time. But I forgot, is Summer 1 servants bonus servants for Summer 2?
They might be. I'd have to double check. I haven't assembled the pregame for Summer 2 yet, so I'm not sure about the 100%
And
of
it's like
stuff.
2. It's like 2 months.
Yeah, because
Like, unfortunately, guys, if you remember,
some people are like, "Oh shit, summer is coming." I have to remind them, no, guys. If you're looking at the JP schedule, remember we're like a month behind. We have to get through the Summer 1 rerun first, which would normally be happening about now, 2 years ago in Japan. So
we have our anniversary, and then probably right after that, we're probably gonna be. kicking
yeah,
off
I would
our
expect,
summer
as people have been assuming, that probably the tail end of the banners might overlap, which is kind of a pain because the day I really want to roll on, I'm going to spend the single 10 spin they gave us for the anniversary date, the birthday. I'm going to spend that 30 quartz exactly. Well, not exactly because I don't know where they come from, but I'm going to spend 30 quartz, the equivalent, on the Da Vinci and Holmes double day. That's it. That's all I got. Because, like we're saying, Summer 1's going to be right around the corner. And God knows, hopefully, since it's a short rerun, I don't have to wait, like, a week for them to do Mordred's solo raid up again. That also killed me, was just waiting to roll. So hopefully I don't have to wait that long, but yeah. That'll come up, and we'll see. And also, yes, next week, look forward to Wanted Sherlock Holmes. It will probably be pretty good, because I fucking love Sherlock Holmes.
Like, again, like FGO sold me on Moriarty, but I'm still not sold on Holmes, personally.
Well, he will have a trial quest, which a company, so hopefully we can get a little bit more on him, like as a mechanical unit, and see how fun he is. Though, I love when he appears out of nowhere in Agartha, and I literally yelled in chat, "World's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes!"
God, he's such a busybody.
He is, but I love it. He's a detective. I gotta solve shit. Hey, so I was minding my own business, but I heard you have a mystery on your hands, so I'm
here now.
I'm gonna solve it. Oh, you guys didn't realize this already? Whoops.
Let me tell you.
Oh, I love him. All right, let's do the news though.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to talk a lot later, and we're both gonna talk a lot about Agartha. Lucky, why don't you power me through the news real quick?
Here we go. So we're gonna start off in North America with the Agartha Summer Banner 2 running from 6/28 to 7/11. Basically, we just got a rate up on Drake, Herc, and Dion. Again, like honestly, like if you don't have those servants, like might be worth it to roll on because all of them are real good for what you need. Drake
They did also just get animation updates.
Yeah, Drake is good for mob clearing and farming. Herc is just a powerful house, and Dion is a fairly solid tank once you get her up there.
Yeah.
So again, if you don't have them, you might want to consider rolling on it. But if you already have them, you can probably pass on it. So
okay. Actually, hold on. We got a question in the chat. I can do a brief interrupt. So apparently somebody have been asking about the next time we'll do a public episode. Fuck, I gotta check what number this is. Let me
I can
check
tell
the
you,
episode number really quick.
Yeah, but I think we're getting close to, like, we're coming up on our 2nd year anniversary, which will be in about a month or two, I want to say.
So that's a definite one. I think we've said before that if we hit 2,000 subs, we're at around 1,900, so that'll probably be a while unless we get like a big blowout episode.
Yep.
But currently we are recording Let's Talk FGO number 94, so obviously, in a couple of months here, if we get to Let's Talk FGO 100, that'll be a big public episode, because that's a big number.
Yeah. So there's 3 potentials just over the horizon. You know, we just got to hit those milestones.
Yeah. All right. Sorry for the interrupt there, but that's the whole point of letting our patrons chime in live.
Mm-hmm.
So,
still in North America, we have the anniversary panel at AXE on 7/6. Guests are Salt River, aka Shiokawa, Ayako Kasumi, and Rumi Okubo. Just a reminder, Rumi Okubo is the good old Astolfo, and Liz. I have her autograph. I'm never not gonna be proud of that. I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna look up at this Beta Apocrypha wall scroll, and there's Rumi Okubo's fucking signature with a little bear on it. And I'm like, yes.
Nice.
Man, I wish I could go to... Like, here's the thing, like, I said, this is slightly bleeding into what's up here, but I'm starting to get more and more upset that I can't go to AXE, because, like, every gacha game has a fucking booth at AXE. I'm like, I want to go to
Voice
this.
is gonna be at AX at the GFL booth.
Yeah.
Like,
So
AX sounds like a party. We are definitely, in the future, in addition to AgarthaCon, your own home thing, because apparently Aniplex US likes that one. We're probably going to have to make, in the future, a regular business trip down to LA for AX.
Yeah. It's like, if there's only 2 cons I'm going to go to, it's probably going to be SoccerCon and AX. God damn. It is huge. Like, Magica Wrecker, which is the Madoka Magica gacha game that just came out, has a booth down there, and you get a fucking free lanyard if you show that you download the game. I'm all like, I want that here. I'm like, son of a bitch! Anyway, more about that tomorrow. So, now we're gonna go across the Pacific over into, what Marco Polo called Japan. The Japans. For the word that I'm gonna butcher horribly, Yuga Kestra?
Your guess is as good as mine, dude.
Yuga Kestra Campaign 2. Running 622 to 75. We got a rotating rate up on 5-star Karna, 5-star Arjuna Altar, 4-star Avashtamon. I shrug. And 3-star... I knew how to say this. What?
I said hard C. Yeah.
Clepsius.
Asclepius.
Snake Doctor Man joins your fucking Chaldea, your scary Chaldea Doctors team. Did you see that meme, actually?
Yes, I've seen several of them.
Man. I kind of want him just because I need more doctors.
Nightingale is like, I will cure you even if it kills you, and Asclepius is like, yo, dog, I'm gonna bring you back from the dead. And you're like, no, just give me a fucking aspirin.
But also celebrating over in JP, we have the 7 million download campaign running 6/26 to 7/2. Basically, log in for 5 days to get 10 copies of various things, including tickets. The usual bonuses apply: double friend points, double super and great success chances. QP needs to enhance CEs and servants is cut by half, and half the AP on Embers. It is going to be farm-tastic. There's going to be extra stock in Da Vinci Shop, special master missions for extra mana prisms, including 1 rare prism, and the banner is a Nero and Nero Bride banner.
Surprising everybody, but it's been since there was no Nero Fest last year. It's fair. Bride hasn't been on Radar for a while, so that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I said like Nero is a story log, and Nero Bride is a limited. So
solid banner. Yes, to clarify, the special master missions, there's like, I think, 6 or 7 of them. They normally give you 50 mana prisms, but if you do complete all the special master missions, you get 1 rare prism for free.
Ta-da! Alright, and last bit of news here, which was completely off left field, actually just came in this morning. Guda Guda Final Hanonji announced over in JP. We don't have a lot of news on it right now, But we do know it's called All Nobunaga's Attack, Guda Guda Final Emoji 2019. What is that? Mathematical?
I don't know. It's like +1 to the or to the first power. I don't necessarily know. I just copied the translation.
Yeah. Anyway. And so, they have already released their bonus servant list, and it's a little interesting. So I'm gonna just read it out for you real quick here. Bear with me. So we have Okita, Nero, Emiya Altar, Nobu, Lancer Altar, Ku, Ryoma, Ushi, Medusa, Medea, Old Man Lee, Izo, Cursed Arm, Ku Altar, Hijikata, Atalante Altar, Summer Nobu, Cha-Cha, Okita Altar, Sitanai, and Mash. So, a lot of these are just servants and bonus servants from previous Guda Gudas. But I'm seeing a big influx of altar servants all of a sudden. Like, specifically, Emiya Altar, Lancer Altar, Atalante Altar, Ku Altar. Also, Ushi Wakamaru? I don't know if she's been in a previous one. Same with Cursed Arm. I can't remember. So, who knows? Maybe their new story has a lot to do with all the altars running about. I don't know. We will see.
Yeah, so, and this is something we talked about before the mics were hot, but, it sounds a lot like the title is meant to be an homage to Godzilla movies, because it's called All Nobunaga's Attack. There's, like, All Monsters Attack is a movie. There's also a Godzilla Final Wars, Guda Guda Final Hanoji, stuff like that. I believe there's been several Godzilla movies titled with, like, dates or years before, too. So,
oh yeah,
this sounds... we know Nasu watches the kaiju movies, so this sounds like they may be doing a deliberate thing. So,
I say, are we incoming giant mecha fucking Nobu?
Would not be shocked. But okay.
Like, I'm kind of like, if there was gonna be a kaiju, I would kind of expect fucking Mecha Liz to be in servant.
Yeah, but she is a bonus servant for a completely different event series, so I don't know. I don't know how they pick these things.
Yeah, I mean,
she is also Mecha Liz is a Mecha Godzilla reference, so once again reinforcing that these guys write them. Also, something in the dialogue teases about Swimsuit Okita. She's like, if there's a new Guda Guda, there's got to be Swimsuit Okita, right? And Nobu's like, no way, dude. So I'm like, Summer 4? Question mark?
Well, like I said, Summer 4 is still a little bit a while away because we still
I don't know, but
fucking
foreshadowing.
Oh,
actually,
honestly, like we were thinking about it, Summer Okita would be right up there.
Yeah, because her original artist is Takeuchi. She is also a Saberface and a 5-star. So, yeah. Also, this reminds me.
But if there's one thing we've learned, it's like you can't really predict what's gonna happen with these fucking as event servant. Every time we come up with some wild theory, it's just all like, well.
Yeah, the only thing that's like 100% consistent is that literally all 3 years, Wadarko has drawn 1 5-star, and Takeuchi himself has drawn the other 5-star. That's just how it's been. But, you know, they could change it. I don't know necessarily why they would, but, you know, it's weird. Also, I just linked something in Patreon chat. I don't know if you've seen it since you got up a while ago, but they've released some more Caldea Park character designs. Oh, yeah. That's a 2-image tweet.
Now, here's the thing. See, I was expecting, like, to only have a few, and maybe they'll be costumes, but they've released a fuck ton of these character designs. I'm like, are they going to be, like, merchandising goods? Can you get, like, little keychains and stuff? Because I don't think they're going to be costumes for...
No, there's no way all these can be costumes, but...
Yeah.
They are probably going to be art assets. I wonder if they'll maybe be an art book later. That'd be real nice. But, so, we got...
I do like they put Luvia in actual wrestling gear. Okay.
Yeah, boxing, actually, I think she's got
boxing. Oh, yeah,
on.
boxing. Yeah.
So, yeah, Estrella / Luvia is a boxer. We've got, cute trick-or-treat witch, Sakabahime. Consort Yu is literally the same, but now she has a straw hat and a little thing in her braids. And we've got, spooky key tiny maid Abigail.
Wholesome, except for that broom. It has tentacles.
It's also a key broom. That's weird, kid. But okay. Yeah, so just the amount of effort they've got coming out of this thing is great.
Yeah. So, yeah.
There'll probably be a little standy area, maybe where you can take some photos. Actually, I think they've got a photo booth, usually. So you can probably, like, do the whole thing where you insert some characters into your pictures, kind of like what we did for April Fool's-ish. Okay. I think that's all the news stuff.
That is all the news stuff.
Let's talk about Agartha.
Oh, man. I finished it. So...
So I will say this both. We both finished it, and so normally we take like 2 or 3 weeks to get final thoughts on like a story release. No.
Yeah.
And I think we can say that most people would agree that this is probably, unless you like absolutely hated it the entire time, which I don't think a lot of people did, most people would agree that definitely a criticism is this is too short.
Yeah. I don't know, it was too short and it still had a bunch of nothing battles.
That's the other thing I was going to say is like, this was like early FGO. Like, there's a lot of just, oh, shoot, fight some chimeras now. Or hey, here's yet another big HP blob of Amazons you have to fight for no goddamn reason.
I am forever going to remember, hey, welcome to Agartha, get crit by chimeras, here you go.
Yeah, there was a what do you call that? Like a steep skill gate on this chapter. Like, hey, if you're not fucking ready, you're gonna get creamed.
It's like, because, like, here's the thing, like, this is what I want to say, like, in my complete amateur opinion. Agartha has a middling start, a middling middle, but has a phenomenal ending. Like, the point from when you arrive to basically when you go to Assault Yis, that's what I consider the start. From the Assault on Yis to the end of Nightless City, that's part 2. And from the attack on, from basically from assaulting El Dorado to the end, that's what I consider found. That's how I break up this thing.
I mean, that's roughly a 3-act structure, so that's probably about it, right?
Yeah. So, like I said, like, the start was a little weak. Like, honestly, the only thing I think that mostly saved it is the fact that you had Dion and Astolfo, who, like, actually seeing them together, they actually, like, they have a great dynamic together, especially, like, them both being knights, them both being,
not necessarily French, but related to France.
Questionable gender identity, I want to say. And just, Dion's, like, stoic, solid nature paired off with, Astolfo's, like,
complete and utter airheadedness.
Yeah. It's like, it just goes so well together. And, like, a lot of people were actually saying this, that their interactions throughout the chapter is what made it a lot for them. And I can agree.
Yeah,
but...
so many people hit us up with, like, Astolfo Dion MVP comments.
But, like, honestly, like, for me personally, Agartha became a much better story when I twisted my perception a little bit. Instead of you being the main character of this story, I consider Fergus Lilia the main character of this story.
And that's the conclusion you straight up come to at the end.
Yeah.
Both Shez and Fergus Lilly think that he's a bit character, like he was a background extra who didn't fit into his role right. Yeah. But at the end, you're like, no, guess he was the main character in the end after all. And hey, guess what? That makes perfect sense. Because, like, I was about to say this earlier when, of course it's a 3-act structure. It's a story. Like, that's the thing that's important to remember about Agartha. The whole thing is a narrative. Like, not even in the normal sense, but literally in universe. It's a narrative Scheherazade constructed.
Yeah. So, again, like, I also really like Scheherazade's character in this. Like, believe it or not, just how she basically wove everything together, her motives. It's like she just had a really simple primal motive, just taken to the extreme, and act upon it. She wasn't, like, vindictive, she wasn't evil, she was just literally scared for her fucking life to the point that she was willing to destroy the world to do it. It's like, that's one of those motives that you don't see very often. It's completely selfish, but not evil. It's weird.
And like, a lot of people were ready to be pretty harsh browns on her, but like, even the comment she makes about Dr. Roman, which is personally saddening, to her it's almost like a throwaway comment, like, oh, the Demon Pillar told me there was another heroic servant who was able to extract himself from the throne. God, I wish I could do that. Yeah. That would be so much simpler than my fucking evil plan. And like, so... Sorry, I bent over there. To you as the player and the Chaldaic characters, you're like, that kind of annoys me because you're really downplaying the deep personal sacrifice of my good friend and co-pilot, Dr. Jesus Romani. But as a character, how the fuck would she know that? What's his face? Fenix told her.
Yeah.
And like, could you trust that fucking face? No. The dude rhymes. He constantly talks in poetry. Nobody should trust that guy.
So, But yeah, because this is what I realized. Basically, after every city, Fergus has this little introspection about what it means to rule. Because Fergus Lily is him before he became a king. And, he's, out doing his Celtic training, doing his fucking Celtic squats.
Yeah, he does harp on that a lot. But I think we'll talk about polish later.
Yeah. And so he gets this little introspection, and basically at the end, when, as I said, we're full-blown on spoilers, when you're on fucking Laputa, and, Fergus Lily, you're up there, Ferenz doesn't want to fucking die, and, Scheherazade is all like, yes, everything. Fergus is all like, man, being a king sucks! I ain't fit to do that shit! And, has this, man, it's honestly, I had to screenshot it, because I love, I was actually crying, during this, when Fergus Lily, has his fucking, I can't pronounce the fucking name of the sword, I can do it. Has the rainbow drill, and is literally, has anchored the fucking, island into place.
And he's drilling it, too. He's gonna blow up the island.
He's gonna blow up the island. He's all like, a Celtic hero is someone who saves the world and gets the girl. I'm like, oh my god, this is so fucking amazing.
Yeah, I really appreciate they go whole hog on the different storytelling, and you get the feel for these Celtic lunatics who we know very well at this point. It's just no, dude, he's totally Celtic. I do appreciate though that as he kind of starts to come around at the end, the fucking peanut gallery's back there, oh my god, Fergus, just stick to the point. Stop trying to bang her and focus. Focus, Fergus.
Because basically once, honestly, I kind of feel it might have not have worked if he hadn't been trying to bang her so much.
Because, at the very least, it makes him super honest, right? He is just 100% doing his simple homeboy cunt for Celtic wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Which is hey, dude, if you don't want to die so much, you should do the normal stuff people do and, live a healthy and productive life. And she's like...
Yeah, honestly, it was, as I said, the finale was amazing. I truly and utterly love it.
Fucking Wu comes back and she's like, I'm not on your side or anything, but this motherfucker. I'm gonna torture him and dip him in my poison so that it sucks so bad he doesn't want to be alive.
Chiron knows something about this.
Yeah.
But
sometimes there are fates worse than death.
Yeah. Wu's another one of those characters that I actually really liked.
Wu is out of the three quote unquote queens, I guess you'd say, the three rulers of Agartha. I would say Wu probably left the most positive impression because Dahut's a fucking nobody. She's not even a servant. She's a shadow.
Yeah, she's a phantom spirit.
He's a phantom spirit who has been hijacked to Drake and is just a shitty person. But that's her point. That's okay.
That's literally the story of Ys.
The story is that Ys and Dahut were so shitty that either God or the devil destroyed them. So yeah.
Well, actually, there's a couple of interpretations. One of them is that Dahut was literally so drunk that she took the key and opened up the dike for whatever reason.
Right.
But when they were fleeing, the king said, some godly voice said to the king, cast that demon from your back, and he just literally tossed this daughter into the fucking. But yeah.
So Ys is a super interesting story.
Yeah, Ys was literally a hedonistic city of just debauchery and opulence, and
exactly what you saw.
Yeah, like I said, actual varying tales count, but there was some fucking what's the word I want? There's some crazy shit going down in that city.
And unfortunately for Penth, her particular, what you call wrongness, the tweaks that Scheherazade did to tell the story, makes her a little single-minded, so it's hard to grow on her character.
Yeah. I will tell you right now, I almost had to mute my fucking phone when the Amazons did their war cry. I'm like, oh my god!
I love that they had a sound effect for that, though.
Yeah, that's cool, but still, it's no!
But still, Penth's character was a little one-dimensional. Wu actually had moments where you were okay, so you're a real person in this story who is stuck in your role but trying to question it.
She wanted a She wanted a just and noble society. It's just that
she had what I think would be probably a very Confucian ideal of an ideal society, which is like, no, we will bureaucratically just build the most just and equitable society, and well, if somebody gets in the way, we'll get rid of them. Like,
and she, did not consider, humans to have flaws that could be exploited upon and whatnot, because, and also the torture. Why the fucking torture? Oh my!
Well,
God.
that was just, I think that reasoning is just, they talk about that is just she, almost as a servant or as a character in Scheherazade's story, it's almost like she can't get past her own origin, kind of, where she did have to do a lot of shitty things, kill a lot of people, do a lot of stuff to get her position of power that she scraped for as a lonely, destitute child. She clawed her way up to the top, became Empress Regent of China, but her character also, as a servant was not able to let that go.
Yeah.
So she.
I also really enjoy how she tries so hard to be the proper empress, but she lets it slip every so once in a while.
Yes, she wants to go full, oh ho 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 laugh, but she's like, whoop, no, hold it in. Also, you.
It's like, oh wait, empress don't laugh like that. Yes, that's
who out there did not choose to pat her head.
Oh, I totally pat her
How
head.
very dare you, sir? Also, some people have said that, it's weird that she's lolly. I'm like, it is a little weird, but it enables that subplot in Ys, which makes the reveal more funny. Not that you can't tell because, A, publicity. Thanks, the game, for spoiling it, that she's a playable character. But also, we've talked about that before. The hype for rolling banners sometimes ruins stuff.
Yeah.
It would be better if Herc and Daeon were on, the first part banner, and you didn't realize until the second part banner that, oh shit, that's a summonable character over there. But also, I think some of that is just, her artist is the Disgaea character designer, who I believe is known for those sorts of body types. And FGO gives their artist a lot of leeway, I think.
Yeah, they do. I'm pretty sure they do.
Lets them do their own style and kind of be more creative. But yeah, so that's an interesting thing. It's also funny how she can't remember her fucking nicknames for you.
Yep. At the end, in the end, she just calls you Lucky.
Yeah, she just calls you your name.
Yep. Yeah.
And can you hold on? I'm trying to remember. Is that I think that was a taunt I was throwing her. I was like, "Wait, let me pat your head again."
No. She said, "Next time we meet, I'll be so gracious to allow you to pat my head or give me candy again."
Ah, that's right. So she's like, okay. So as she's dying, she's like, "Okay, if I come back and do it again, I got nothing on the red banner, so we'll see." She's a permanent.
I already said I'm picking Wu for my 4-star.
She's a permanent, so spooky time in the future. I believe our esteemed, constantly dying #1 Britain fan, Camper Wen, spent money to roll a Wu and did not get her, and was like, "I will never get this character." Now he has an NP5 Wu. So, yeah.
I forgot. Is Penta?
Penta's permanent. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'll probably get spooked by something.
Yeah, I'm not super concerned. It took me over a year to get Fran, but I have an NP2 Fran now, so not super upset about Penth. She's permanent. There's, oh boy, when we talk about some of the stuff going on with Yuga Shtera's second banner, there's, that's gonna be a rough one in 2 years, because the part 1 is Lakshmi Bai and Ganesha, but then the parts 2 is oh shit, dude, Asclepius is a story lock 3-star. That fucking sucks, dude. Yeah. At least he has a rate up, unlike somebody we're gonna talk about later. Well, we can talk about Columba right now.
Yeah,
so,
let's talk about Captain.
How do you feel about Mash and Da Vinci basically painting it with a giant red light that he's gonna fucking turn on you?
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because some people are like, this could have been more interesting if they weren't constantly trying to point out that he's definitely gonna betray us.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, because basically Mash going, something feels weird about this guy. Because, literally, I can't help but compare him to fucking Moriarty.
Naturally. I think that's a deliberate comparison. They're both old dudes with amnesia who seem totally trustworthy.
Yeah. But, see, here's the thing with Moriarty, at the end, I'm just like, oh, Moriarty, you're so evil, but I can't help but like you. Columbus is like, no, fuck you, get out. I don't care if you never come to my Jotea. Fuck you, sir.
By the way, he won't. He's a story like 3-star who doesn't have a rate-up banner. So, that's like if you didn't roll Caster Gills at some point, that's like, you're just fucked, dude. Are you gonna roll a lot of story banner and hope?
It's like Caster, like, because, you know me, Lucky, like, actually genuinely likes evil characters. That's why a lot of my waifus are, like, evil types, and, you know, I empathize a lot with evil characters in their thing. I cannot empathize with Columbus at all.
No, he's just an asshole.
He's just an asshole.
Now, some of that, I believe, is Scheherazade tweaking him, because, like, he's not quite so obsessed about slavery as a summonable servant, but goddamn, he is still just an asshole.
He is just an asshole. And he's one of the, I think, the only servants to try and pull the bullshit card of, this is how we did it in my day, so I'm gonna keep fucking doing it. And I'm like, but that you're not in your day. You have knowledge of the times. And again, that could be Shez fucking with him. Yeah. I said, like, I don't know, like, right now, in this moment, like, I don't want anything to do with Columbus.
Yeah. Which is a shame, because I finally recognized it when he finally used his Noble Phantasm as an enemy, which was the first time I saw his animations. I was like, holy shit, he has a gun? Because as a support servant on your team, he can't NP because of story reasons. So I'm like, why would I pick him? I can pick an Astolfo or a Dion, who, with all these Lancer enemies, Dion is a really good choice. Especially with, being a tank. So, like, I recognize that. I'm like, holy shit, is that Jiraiya's voice actor? It is. So I'm like, that's a terrible shame that they gave a man whose voice work as various characters also showed up in Saga of Tanya, lots of other roles. I'm like, that's a terrible shame that you are voicing a character who I want absolutely nothing to do with in this game, ever. And shout out to the artist, those are some fucked up faces, but...
Those are some fucked up faces. Now I understand the Rio art.
Yeah, it's just like... You can just imagine the tongue, the noises coming out. I'm like, no, get away from me.
Because, like, I can understand, like, yes, that was something that happened in your time. It's like, it's something else.
I guess I can kind of understand. So, one thing I do like about Columbus is before he's actively evil, is, like, he's a villain. He's a villain who is a positive motivational speaker.
Yeah. If he had done his heel turn, but did not turn into a fucking crazy motherfucker ass, like, backstair, like, if his betrayal was done with a little bit more solemnity, I want to say, like, I would have been like, gasp! Oh, you.
But like, no, this is like, hoo-hoo, I'm just gonna fucking flip on you. Well, I'm gonna self-replicating slaves. That's the great.
If he had done the betrayal with more class, that's the word I was looking for.
The man does have no class. He has no chill.
He has, like, no chill.
It's very unfortunate. He's an absolutely zero chill character.
So it was just like, because here's the thing, like, unfortunately, like, knowing that who Columbus was, kind of, you see him, like, doing everything, like, in Shangri-La and all that stuff, you're all like, God, I kind of
By the way, I totally called that, too. I was like, when they were like, the shit's on fire, I'm like, so Columbus just tried to murder us, right?
Yeah.
And then he reveals, I'm like, oh shit, he did.
It's like, oh my god. Oh, no. The moment I was, like, absolutely done is when he goes to the flashback and he shot Helene. I was like, oh no. Oh hell no.
No, he's a dickbag. I kind of wish there was a proper CG for it, but I'm glad that was as ridiculous as I thought it would be. Because I knew that's the ending, that Helena comes back in a fucking UFO and saves you all. And I'm like, no, that worked. That was exactly what I thought. It's a really dumb Deus Ex Machina ending. Oh wait, we're in a story. Of course it is. The author has left the scene, and thus we need a way to conclude this play. Well, fucking magic UFOs.
Honestly, I would like to think of that as Scheherazade fucking about with the end before she leaves. Because after all, everything was her stories and went as she wrote, except for one bit.
Yeah, so that's one thing I will say I liked. It was interesting. Like you, I was kind of like, this story's just alright. And then you get to the end, I'm like, oh, I'm actually interested now. Because, hey, we do a lot of learning about metaplot stuff for this show. So her evil plan, I was like, oh shit, that's like a for real Fate villain plan. Like, that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
That's like, because her plan is to destroy mystery and thus destroy the throne. And I'm like, oh, shit. That's why this is set in the year 2000. Okay. wow, that's
Mhm.
actually really clever.
By making a fake city crash into a real city, it would basically make people acknowledge that there is magic and mystery in the world. And once people know there is mystery, they will want to figure it out, therefore removing the mystery.
Right. Once you figure out magic, it stops to be magic and just blur.
Blur.
The waveform collapses, the universe becomes something different.
Oh.
So yeah,
Well,
I'm like, oh, holy shit, that's like a really interesting conclusion. And then like, it took me a while. One thing I say I don't like about the ending is that like, there's too many fights. It's too stilted. There's too many breaks between exposition. Because there was a good solid like 1 or 2 pips where I was like, okay, Scheherazade, but why though with the people fighting? And then it was like, oh, it was a Holy Grail war. I'm like, oh, duh, shit. Of course it was. But still, you could have like dropped that, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But still, so yeah, the whole reason why she created this world was to create a really fucked up Holy Grail war to give her the energy she needed to do the thing. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Like, honestly, like, Scheherazade is truly a mad fucking genius.
This is,
like
I said, this is a for real fate plot. Like, this is not quite the fucking around I thought it would be. This is like an actual, honest to God, this would be the plot of a major fate work, right? Like, this could be a route in something, or, like, this could be its own thing. I'm like, wow, that's really, really interesting.
I also super enjoyed that they brought, like, so many mythical cities into one setting, and even mentioned a couple that didn't actually show.
Right, and but also, I hope you caught this, specifically they were folkloric cities. They were urban legends, or not true, and I'm like, wow, that's, the whole, I kind of wish they'd gone a little bit more whole hog on the whole meta-narrative thing, because that's, I mean, I'm a writer, so I just love that shit, but, like, even the little bit that we got, I was like, that's actually super cool that you're, like, commenting on this, and Scheherazade's just like, oh yeah, no, it's totally fake. These are all stories people told, which is why they exist, because that's how my noble phantasm work. Because some asshole stuck the tales of Sinbad and Aladdin into my stories, I can just add whatever fucking stories I like. Yeah. Boom.
I even like that the fact that they actually, because I mentioned this early, Columbus actually mentions Zapang, which is technically the same thing, because basically, a traveler told Marco Polo a story about a Asian city of gold, which was around the area where Japan was. So basically, Marco Polo wrote about Zapang, and Columbus mentions that too. It was like, oh, that's really cool. They didn't have a note for it. I'm gonna tell you right now, though, I was delightfully shocked when the Dragon Palace showed up. Although I am mad they did not give me an Otohime.
I am also super upset. I love a lot of ideas out of that. And it's a real shame. Also, it's weird for... Oops, about my mic arm. It's weird considering this is FGO and they love their Japanese characters. I'm like, So you stuck a fake character who wasn't even her own character in this story, and then you doubled up on her, and you didn't give me a dragon princess lady riding a turtle?
Okay. Excuse me.
I'm a little upset.
It's like, missed opportunity. Like I said, I'm still glad it showed up.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. But we both also love Okami, so.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, so Laputa at the end, that was the big shocker for me. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna flat... That, and the fucking map transition, I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Oh.
Like, that's neato. Also, hey, for everybody who's wondering, Castle in the Sky was my favorite Studio Ghibli movie until I saw Princess Mononoke.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, that was cool. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you gotta remember, Laputa originally was from Gulliver's Travels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a flying island described in there. And so, like, again, it's something from a story. So I'm like, God damn it, Scheherazade. You're so good at this, and all you want to do is not die.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot to like about this, but I think talking with the community, there's 2 ways I think I've heard people generally describe Agartha, and I'll see if you agree, Lucky. The first is undercooked, because boy howdy, for all the time they take to do all these boring ass fights with lots of meat blob enemies and multiple story only nodes, especially at the end, there's still a lot of this that could use a polish. Like, we talked about that.
Yeah,
there's some shit that could have used some tightening up. Like, not a lot, just, maybe if they'd had an extra month or 2 for an editing pass, tighten some stuff up.
I think I would have liked more exposition in East and the Nightless City.
Yeah, they should not have crammed everything into the last 5 minutes, of explaining everything. And I really would have liked if, like, we get a better idea of why Wu is, like, the way she is. We kind of get why Penth is the way she is, but at the same time, it's very much...
Like, real talk.
She's a berserker, but, like, she doesn't have to be quite that crazy. And you see that a lot, because she's perfectly functional commanding her Amazons for, like, 5 minutes at a time, and then she's like, I smell a Greek hero, I'm gonna fucking flip out. Achilles, but she's just running around. It's like, I'm trying to...
real talk, I really did like the mechanic on the fucking boat of Megalos and fucking Pence just clashing in the background doing random
That was
damage.
great,
Like,
yeah. Just,
I was like, oh god!
That was a
It's
neat
like,
effect.
stop!
Luckily, they mostly clattered Amazons and not me. So, it was pretty funny. But yeah, that was a fun effect. But no, like, at the same time, she's still very flat as a character. Like, only, again, at the very end of her character does she actually explain her backstory. Where she's like, Achilles, I'm still super
Like,
mad.
why
You
she-
called me beautiful. I'm a little pissed off. Bleh.
And, you see, I never understood that, like, why she was so pissed off until that moment before she dies, and she's like, in this moment of victory, you did not have a moment, you were not, like, thankful for your survival, you did not feel, triumphant in your victory. You looked at me and looked down upon me and called me beautiful. I was like, Pin, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, her character is a lot more clear when you understand her point of pride as a noble Amazon, daughter of the god Ares, of war. That, like...
So...
She had a lot of stakes in this. Now, personally, from what I know, especially of Achilles as a fate character, I'm sure he didn't mean it that way.
No,
like to him,
Achilles
it's almost likely that he was... First of all, he's pretty happy-go-lucky, but I feel like he was probably almost, like, sad that he destroyed something beautiful.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sounds like him. Like, he would be sad that, like, oh, you were very pretty and pretty cool. That's a real shame that I stabbed you. Again. Whoops. But that's his whole character arc in Apocrypha, which we don't need to get into. So, yeah, But, yeah, so, like, you understand her character a lot at the end, but it's very hard to get the build-up to that, because she's just crazy.
Well,
And, like,
she's crazy, and she's in and out, like, so much.
Yeah, it's a hair trigger flip.
Yeah, it is. It's like, I can almost guarantee, like, every time, like I think by, like, the second time, it's like, someone's gonna fucking show up, and she's just gonna run off, because I don't think until your final fight with her, you don't have to fight her any further than her first break
Right,
bar.
she always retreats or something happens. So that's another thing. It's like, they weirdly stall her character. They make you run into her first, and they make you stick around. She sticks around the longest out of the rulers, but she always has to leave the scene. So that's a polishing thing. You could tighten that up. Also, like we said with Dahut, I get that she's supposed to just be kind of a shitty person with her weird hedonistic anarcho-communist mentality. Dude, take as much as you want, but don't value what you take. Throw it out after. Everybody gets the same shit. It's like, she comes across as super one-dimensional as a character. And like, I kind of get that she's supposed to be that way, because she's, like, extra fake. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I feel like there could have been a little bit extra effort to, like, does her character have a backstory? As to, like, is this just, like, even that could be a commentary to just say that, like, shit, it's not my fault, I was just born this way. Why you harshing me, bro? But we don't get any of that. She's just shitty to us the whole time. Like, both times. And it's like,
she wants to bang you and kill you.
I must take.
Okay.
You don't get to take shit from me. I take shit from you. I'm like, okay,
by your
thanks.
own rules. That's not how it works, baby.
Okay, fucking.
I did have an immediate sad when you do defeat her and Drake's actual personality surfaces. I'm like, no, Drake, stay.
No, I'm real tired, boss. I gotta go home.
Like,
And I'm like, okay, but baby, do you have an eye patch? Bye. I think I joked about that. I'd be, not that I have a Drake, but I would be like, afterward, I'd be like, hey Drake, do you have an eye patch? Like, I think somebody suggested this. It would be cool if you could get the Dahut design just in Drake's normal colors, like, so she's not an altar, just with, like, the eye patch and hat and stuff. That'd be a really
honestly,
interesting
I was
costume.
looking at it like, I'd just be fine with the Dahut costume. Honestly, I'd be happy with all the fucking costumes. Oh,
yes,
my God.
Hey, I didn't want to spoil this for you, but they showed it at the stream was Maid Daeon and Schoolgirl Astolfo.
Excuse me. It is Sailor. It is. Oh God! It is Mate Knight and what did Astolfo call himself?
Was it Sailor Paladin?
Sailor Paladin? Yes. It's like, excuse me.
I'm like, oh my. No, Astolfo, you've been watching way too much anime. Back in Chaldea.
Oh man, what killed me is
and
when
he
they
puts
got
the
on the
fucking
boat.
costume back on when you're on the boat.
He's like, it's a sailor uniform, right? And it's like,
it's supposed to be a sailor suit, right? I'm sailing. And Dion's just like, I don't think, and you give them a significant look, and you're like, so is Maid not coming back? And they're like, no,
no.
we're not doing that again.
Also,
like,
it has been confirmed that you do use crash with Astolfo. You may use him as a fucking body pillow. Who knows?
I think Mash had a great reaction to that. Was hold on, what of the part of that sounded wrong, and then you're just like, we're moving on. Wait a second. We also confirmed that you can admit that Daeon's gender is Daeon.
Yep.
Which I would say is, as a servant character, is mathematically true because Daeon's self-suggestion is so high that Daeon can think of themselves as either gender and it sticks. So
yeah. I do like that Mash had to be like, hey, while you're there, can you get a look? And you just zoom in on the chest area. And you're like, I have thoughts and feelings, but they're inconclusive, and Mash is like, shit, we'll figure it out later.
And I know some people felt that was a little gross of Mash, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't think so. We didn't harp on it. Mash is still a kid, too. She's still a teenager, so it makes sense that they would be like, yo, but I've literally never left Chaldea, ever, so I'm super sheltered, so Daeon confuses me. Hey, Master, what do you think? I'm like, I don't fucking know either. I can't drink yet, so we're both written as, really young, so I don't know. It's weird.
Let's see here. So, the comedic bits is all well and good. You do get a bit of a, I don't want to call it a MacGuffin, but the boxes. I can't remember the fucking Tame, whatever.
It's
you just get yeah, Tame Bahaka, whatever, something. But you get a bunch of those, and it's like, all right, now we can do a whole bunch of ultra powerful stuff.
Yeah, I like that they actually, for instance, they talk about how Astolfo has so many fucking noble phantasms. He gets to bring out the horn, La Black Luna, and play it really loud. Doot doot. I'm like, yeah, that's my boy. Doot doot. Doot doot. Cancel out the Amazon war cry, and then I'm not sure what the fuck Daeon's noble phantasm is supposed to be doing, but it allowed them to hold off a shitload of Amazons. That was a really great moment when they leave and they're like, well, Astolfo's like, well, okay, Daeon, we've got to fight about 1,000 Amazons and buy some time for Master. How do you feel about this? And, Daeon's basically the equivalent of, I'll take the 500 on the right. It's like, okay.
I also like that Daeon had a real sincere moment with Astolfo, since, the Paladins of Charlemagne was something that Daeon looked up to.
That mythology is referred to as the Matter of France, and it's placed on the same level as, by medieval scholars and poets, as the Matter of Britain, which is the Arthurian mythos, and the Matter of Rome, which is Iliad, Odyssey, and I forgot. The Aeneid. There we go. The Aeneid. The Iliad, the Odyssey, and the Aeneid. So, yes, that mythology was considered that big of a deal to, the founding of France. So, yes, Astolfo's a big deal. I also like that they do some credit
Charlemagne
where,
win.
Yes, Charlie win. I do love that also later when talking about how Scheherazade has the anti-king skill, Astolfo's like, shit, I can't hit her. And he's like, shoot, I'm a prince. That probably means I count. So that was a lovely little backstory nod that they didn't, wasn't a big reveal, but they just threw that out there that, oh yeah, Astolfo's technically a prince.
Mm-hmm.
Also, while it's called the quote-unquote king trait, it also applies to lady rulers as well. So, Maeve has the king trait, etc. I think Skahak might have it, because she's the ruler of the Land of Shadow. It's really interesting what the game calls quote-unquote kings. Which is also good for Scheherazade, because it helps her damage niche. But anyway, so that was pretty fun. But like I said, could have used a little bit more polish. A couple more nodes, make the battles make more sense, tighten up the rating a little bit. Would have been a more consistent ride.
Oh, yeah.
The second thing I hear people describe it with and agree on is the best phrase I think I saw somebody, I may have been on Reddit, use was, Agartha's a little too horny on main. Because it kind of is. Now, I will say this. So, I have been told, concerning people who can actually, read and translate the Japanese script and compare it to the text of the English script, localization did tone some stuff down and make some stuff a little bit less explicit. They used less explicit language to describe, for instance, what the Amazons would do with males. They just very mechanically refer to it as basically, yeah, we're going to use you as a stud horse, as opposed to, like, we're going to milk your semen. And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that's good localization. You did a good job. You were able to refine something and keep it appropriate to your market, keeping in mind that last I checked, this game is rated T for teen, guys. Without losing any of the effect, because the technical truth was always the same.
Yeah.
It's just, they weren't quite as gross and explicit about it. I'm like, that's good. Good localization. Good head pats, Albert. But at the same time, there is a lot of that, isn't there? There's a lot of weird... There's a,
you specifically get it in El Dorado and
yeah,
East.
it's because Nightless City is orderly. The only thing that's weird about that is they talk about basically Scheherazad's reactionist feminist fantasy, which is like, oh yeah, which I caught on way earlier before they actually talked about it. I was like, anybody else getting the weird impression that like the men are all complaining about how terrible this is for them, but I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, yeah, though, but this has been historically true for women, so like,
yeah,
we can agree that that's still shitty, right? Like, I feel like I felt kind of like either the author of the chapter, or I guess since it was turned out to be Scheherazade knows, she says it was subconscious. Yeah. I felt like it was kind of supposed to be like maybe a gotcha, like make you think about your life thing, like, oh, you thought this was terrible, right? But history of women, and you're like, oh, gasp. Was I a misogynist this whole time? Or if you're like me, you're like, yes, this is why the egalitarian future is the best. Everybody should be treated equally. Thumbs up, everybody. High fives all around. But other than like obviously there's some freaky shit going on that Astolfo and Dion basically dug some shit out of their roleplay closet. Like that's explicit. Dion, I should say, dug it out of a wardrobe in somebody's outfit, and there's like the woman with two dudes, who are her servants, kind of thing. So you're like, that's a little weird, but it's not very explicit, which I'm glad for though, because Wu is a tiny granny lolly, and I'm like, you could have made this weirder. I'm glad you didn't. She just wants to stab me to death and cut off all my limbs. I could accept this. Like, I feel like, for instance, if, say, Dahut and Wu's places has been swapped, that would have been a little bit more concerning and uncomfortable.
I was like,
I'm not okay with this, but it wasn't, so there's that. But yeah, no, El Dorado and Ys especially are very Dojin-y, which is not necessarily wrong or even weird for Fate. Remember, this started as a porn game. It had an 18-plus release recently, and there's some parts of Babylonia that are super creepy and gross sounding. Thanks, Kingu. Yeah. But like, I'm glad that they toned it down a little for they found a way to express the reality without making it gross, because that's not really, I don't think that, like, if somebody wants to yell about censorship, which I'm sure some does, I don't think that's censorship, I think that's tact, right?
Yeah.
The information is all there and is all correct. It is presented to you in a more polite and palatable way than, ooh, semen milking. I'm not going to let that go. That was apparently what the literal translation, anyway, of the Japanese was, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a grade A Dojin dialogue. I've read some of that in my day. Also, that's another weird thing. I was accurate. I went through the whole thing as a female character. Nobody really comments on whether you're a girl or a boy, as far as I know. Yeah, so that's another thing that maybe that could have been a polishing thing. Like, you could have actually,
honestly, like, what I feel like they should have just simply done is, if you're a female, you put on a disguise and you go about in town and you learn more about the sit-ins. Or if you're a guy, you put on a disguise, you go into the town and you find out more about the city.
Yeah, because, hey, fuck, you cross-dress in Shinjuku. That's your disguise.
Yeah, no matter your... Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe they didn't want to repeat ideas, but they already repeated ideas, so I don't know. It's like, it's a little weird. Like I said, could have used some polish. And even, they have a reason why, even if you're a woman, they wouldn't trust you, because all three cities also have rules which you as a character wouldn't obey anyway. Like if Penth was like, oh, hey, you're a woman. Are you strong? Can you fight? Are you gonna beat this guy up and take him as your husband? No? Fuck you, I'll kill you then. Every society has its rules that you as the player character are not going to listen to, so it's like, they could have actually done a little bit of flavor changes, but again, like I said, polish. How long have we been going? We are at over an hour now, so I don't know when we started. We've probably been going for like 40 minutes or more.
Let's see here. So, I did like the little epilogue scene for Agartha, where it's normal-ass Fergus doing his fucking Celtic squats and push-ups, and then he gets a whiff of woman, and you just see Scheherazade just fade into the side, and he looks around and is like, huh.
Must have been nothing.
I'm just like, God. It's like, honestly, like, I like have I have a deeper appreciation for Fergus now. I really do.
This chapter was really good to Fergus. Like, you get a great idea of his character, but also, you understand, he's still a meathead. He's always been a meathead, he won't stop. But he can still express, like we said, his simple Celtic wisdom. He's just a humble, good old home country boy from the Celtic country. I'm not going to try and do a Celtic country accent. That would probably upset some people, and B, I'm not sure I could pull that off.
No accent theater right now.
No accent theater. Though, hey, Scottish Pokemon trainer dubs are still cool, so.
They are.
By the way, in case you were wondering, the place Skahaka is supposed to be from is technically an island adjacent to Scotland, so that's what she so fucking sounds like. Play some bagpipes. Anyway. Fergus. Also, I do like that, especially considering the nature of Sherlock Holmes stories, I like that Holmes has a little bit of narration at the end as he closes up the chapter. Good boy, Holmes.
Well, as I said, it was the end of a story.
And he is the expository type detective. He's the, like, that's part of the Sherlock Holmes genre, is he, like, explains some shit to Watson and Watson writes it down. So, like, that's... He
actually, like, lamented the fact that Watson wasn't here because, apparently Holmes isn't so great with the written word.
Yeah. So, like, that was cute.
God, like, honestly, like, again, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how integral Columbus actually was to this fucking plot.
Absolutely not. He was not essential at all. Like, fuck, you could have just taken Megalos yourself and, oh, hey, Penth has superiority over Greek males. She could have just clattered him. Or he could have gotten crazy after she's defeated. Shez could have revealed her true colors and just taken it out. Like, like I said, I like his motivational speaking. I think it's very true to the story, but then just his actual portrayal is just so fucking worthless. It's just another stall for time, right?
Yeah.
It's padding out the story that's already too short.
Like, I honestly would have, like, because this is something they always say in a lot of storytelling. Either you die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. I honestly think I would have preferred him to, like, have died a hero and then, you know...
And then you're like, oh, that was weird. He was, I guess, was he good? Was he bad? We don't know.
Yeah. Like, left it up to a bit of, like, ambiguity. Like, maybe in his last moments, like, they try to, like, make, like, Scheherazade or someone tries to force him to do the heel turn by revealing who he is.
Or like, he just puts his crazy face on, is like, shit, I had a plan the whole time, couldn't do it. I couldn't, blah. I, Christopher Columbus, could not complete my journey. Alas, it is super ironic. I will die now.
Yeah, so it's like, again, so, like, I feel like Columbus could have been something that, Columbus was something that needed a lot of fucking polish, I think, personally.
Yeah, his character's so useless.
Yeah.
Woo, slavery! Woo, look at my crazy face. Also, but actually, this reminds me of another thing I wanted to bring up. I do appreciate that how fictional this is, and, like, all of these so-called women of Agartha, they're not even people. They are, like, familiars. They are, like, literally extras Scheherazade summoned up to do her work setting up the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I actually appreciate that they're not real. That makes this less weird. Because it just adds to the further layers.
Well, yeah, like, Da Vinci's basically split that this...
Oh, this is fucking fictional. It's all fictional. Literally everything we have done from start to finish has been a fictional story attempting to, as, like Scheherazade says, attempting to destroy reality with fiction. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I almost wish they'd gone an extra mile to it. Like maybe a couple more characters and, like, actually talk about some of that stuff.
Yeah, Da Vinci, you know, likens the entire Singularity to a fucking reality marble. When you just got think about
and actually, that's true, because Scheherazade tells you you've been in her story all along. Her noble phantasm, the 1001 Nights, is a reality marble. The story she tells becomes real.
Yeah, so it's just like...
That's how captivating her storytelling is.
Storyteller? Yeah.
You have been dancing inside her palm, or tucked in her boobs, as she does in her NP animation, the entire time.
I would prefer to be tucked in her boobs, thanks.
But yeah, so, like, I also appreciate that Da Vinci fucking, like, I pointed out that she foreshadowed this, but she throws this out right away. She's like, this map is weird. It's almost like it's a mosaic of different things stitched together, and I'm like,
So, all in all, I can't say that Agartha is my favorite Singularity, but it's far from the worst.
Yeah. It's not the worst story. It's not the best. Some people are like, worst thing since Septum. Other people I've said were like, actually, I enjoyed the themes and plot direction more than Shinjuku, and I'm like, oh, cool. I don't agree, but that's cool that you thought that.
Yeah, no, like, I can understand. Like, that's a stance you can take. Like, personally, I like Shinjuku better because, like, honestly, I felt like this... In Shinjuku, the story flowed at a good pace of,
Right.
we have goals, we need to accomplish them, there are things happening in the background. See,
Moriarty also does way more with his time with you than Scheherazade. Like, that's another thing. Like, if you teamed up with Scheherazade the whole time, like you did with Moriarty, and then she betrayed you, that would be more interesting. Like, hey, if you bumped into her into the jungle and she was like, oh shit, please don't kill me.
Because that's her I don't want to die. Yeah.
Please, like, considering how much of a goober the Master is, you literally let Tamovich into the Shadow Border when she holds up a hitchhiking sign at the end of Lost Belt 4. That's literally a thing that she does. And you're like, and the Master's like, well, get in, can't leave you to die. And you're like, I just can't wait to see what Mash says about this. But, I mean, I would. Why not? She's holding up a sign. Let her in. We stop for hitchhikers. It says so on the bumper sticker. And Da Vinci's
what does it say?
I said, we stop for hitchhikers. And I'm like, oh, Da Vinci's like, I didn't put a bumper sticker on there. I'm like, shut up. Quiet, you. You're not a real servant yet either.
What did the bumper sticker say? I didn't hear.
Oh, I joked that the bumper sticker would say, we stop for hitchhikers.
Yeah. No servant left behind.
Okay, that's our policy. But yeah, so like you totally could have shenanigans just like, I don't want to die. I'll serve you forever. Please don't hurt me. Like, okay. And then she just follows you around and gives you exposition, which might explain why these characters are the way they are. And then she's like, she would literally be telling you the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd be like, oh shit, it was a story the entire time. Gasp.
Then she came in like, did I not tell it to you? It's like,
everything happened exactly like I told you it would. Yeah, so that, like I said, polish. The story could have been tighter, but it's not the worst. And I appreciate the kind of tone of Agartha. Agartha's very much set like a pulp adventure, really. You're like, this makes no fucking sense, this underground world, but it's here, so we're gonna fucking explore it. There's a jungle, there's a river, there's a dragon palace, there's freaky natives, there's Amazon tribes in the jungle, which, by the way, that was the thing I didn't even think about, but I realized that later. I'm like, oh, right, Amazon jungle, literal Greek Amazons. That isn't right.
Yeah.
Huh, that didn't click for me until they pointed out. I'm like, oh, I didn't think about it that hard. I was just like, of course there's fucking Amazons here. You put Penth here. But yeah, so I'm like lots of little things like that were very good. I wish the chapter had more of those, but it's okay.
It's okay.
I personally like Shinjuku better because I love urban fantasy, so I'm a huge sucker.
Yeah, honestly, like if I was going to compare, because like you could definitely say in Shinjuku and Agartha, you have your wombo combo of Saber Altar and Jean Altar, and over here in Dion and Alsafo, I still have to like the two altars because their fucking frenemy relationship is the fucking best. Not to mention that the capstone on like this is like I think one of probably my favorite ending scenes ever is Shinjuku when everyone's leaving and Jean Altar's like, wait, no, like takes off her clothes, she's wearing her dress, and as the world is fading, you get one last dance with her. It's like that's like that kind of stuff. It's all like you can't like someone like. Oh god, it's just like someone's like, yes, this will be the perfect finish.
Yeah, that had a really good quality. So I'm going to guess, based on the descriptions, that I will probably like Salem a lot because I'm a big fan of HPL. Look at my bookshelf where my complete Cthulhu Mythos is sitting. And I don't know about Shimosa. I'm also a huge weeb, but I've never actually read the story that Shimosa is a very obvious inspiration for, which also inspired Fate in general. So, I don't know. We'll see. It may just be at the end that out of the Epic of Remnants, Agartha is rated lowest just because it didn't quite hit the highs of some of the others, but we'll see. It's not like... I'm not going to say right now, only halfway through, I'm like, oh, that's definitely a dead last. And some people will say that, and hey, more power to you, but it wasn't... My expectations were low, so it wasn't terrible.
Like, Yeah, like, as I said, like,
I expect
don't know, like,
I will
again,
also feel the same way about Shimosa, but that's because my expectations will be low for mechanical reasons. Lots of people say the fights are super hard, and I'm like, okay.
That's how we do.
And then I feel like nobody talks about Salem other than just Abigail and lots of weird Lovecraft monsters. So we'll see. I bet it's fun because it's got some fun characters on its banners, so I'll hope.
I said we're talking about we're talking about banners. It's like I'm all about that fucking Kanto Danzo and fuck Tomoe.
Yeah, Shimosa's gonna be a time. But at least Tomoe's permanent. Also, there's that, like I said, there's that Setsubun banner early next year that's gonna be all three of the Raitas and poor Tomoe together.
Big oof.
Hopefully that'll be okay. But that will also be right after Hokusai, so I might be broke. Japan, why? Why you hurt me like this?
I need to when someone needs to do an edit of that Steam sale.
Oh, that
yeah,
that. Because it's Steam Summer Sale, by the way. I decided not to buy the Dresden Files cooperative card game this morning, which was good because I pre-ordered Final Fantasy VII with a coupon instead for the deluxe edition for like $60. Thanks for Lucky to shout me out to that coupon. But like there was a definite consideration, and it was like, holy shit, I can get this game and literally all the expansions for like $25. This is a pretty good, but I'm not gonna play it with anybody right now, so I'll save that for later. But yeah, we need a wallet version of that for FGO. We should edit Camper's avatar over it because he's the one I always hear about his wallet crying. It would have to be you or Camper, and it's just like, no, Nasu, no, Delightworks, no, as it just slurps your money out. I love that GIF, by the way; it's the best.
It is the best.
All right, well, I think that's about everything we had to say about Agartha. Well, actually, let's talk mechanics. How'd you feel about some of those final fights?
Oh yeah,
the fucking boss rush with Shez sucked ass. I cheesed that with Jean and Ishtar. That was my last two servants standing, and I'm just like, there's no positive damage here, but boy howdy, my Ishtar skills are very high, so she gets a like an 80% chance to turn invincible every 5 turns, so it's okay.
Yeah,
I have questions about how Laputa was still there, because I hit it with, like, 5 or 6 Venuses.
Just, throughout all events, honestly, it wasn't, the break bars breaking that usually was the issue, but fucking, excuse me, Megalos, why the fuck do I have to kill you 4 fucking times per fight?
It's his, God hand, dude, he's got all the lives.
It's like, oh my god.
I'm like, on the one hand, this is cool, but on the other hand, goddamn, you chunky. You a chunky boy. It takes a lot of work. I'm so glad that for a Berserker boss, he hits like a wet noodle. Like without damage pluses, his damage was atrocious.
Oh god, he would get the area attack, and then he would do the focus attack, and I'm just like, oh god, no.
Though I would say quite a few times more often than not, the dude took aim at Mash, and I'm just like, you fool! You've played right into my trap card. That's exactly what I wanted you to do. You saved me a taunt. Oh, Mash got a lot of mileage in this event, even though she was back at base. Don't ask me how that works.
And the friends fight, it's like, no, this guy will literally not go down. And then the second fight where it's like, alright, you have to wait 10 turns before this guts goes away, and you're just like, oh.
No, well, here's the thing. He was a ruler. Yeah. I borrowed support Merlin, so wasn't bond inefficient, but Gorgon's Altar. Gorgon MVP. Just holy shit. Just her crits, dropping crits on that boy. I got him down to definitely 5-digit HP. I think around the 25k mark before his guts stopped working. That's how many times I killed him over and over again. Cause that's the thing.
See, the thing is, I didn't.
Go ahead.
My strategy was actually kind of the opposite. I just whittled him down until he was close enough so that when his guts go off, I could just basically one-shot him from there.
Yeah, well, I also I knew that there would be the max HP reduction because I did the pregame, so I was like, I'm just gonna keep kicking his ass and hope that by the time the 10 turns are over, he's really easy to kill. And he was. So yeah, he was in a really bad way. I have 2 female Avengers. I'm like, yes, no. They're both max level. You're fucked, son. My giant snake lady is going to fucking suplex you. Honestly, I had a harder time with Caster Fenix.
Really?
When he had 800k HP or something? Yeah. I'd have to double check if Ketz has the king trait. Oz definitely must have, because he's a pharaoh. He's got to be a king, right? That's got to probably be how that works. So like, I'm like, I don't know, but it was like, goddamn, you have so much meat, and he just kept doing the fucking charm damage down. Like, you can't defense or invincible through just losing 2k HP. So it sucked. Like, I don't know, maybe I should have tried to bring Irie for healing, but I was like, fuck, man, that just
I can't remember which fight it was. One of the fights where you actually fought Scheherazade, but I think it was like when you fought Scheherazade and Pharynx, I think. But at one point I was literally down to Mash and Tamamo, and it's all like, well, we're in the stall game now, and it took me 61 turns to get through it.
Yeah, I think you screen capped that.
Yeah.
There are quite a few fights that might end up that way. I think with Megalos Columbus I did a similar thing, because I was like, because Columbus would, if you break his bar, he will give Megalos, and only Megalos, Pierce Invincible for 3 turns, and I'm like, that's not gonna work. That would be bad. So I tried to focus fire on Megalos, but then I'm like, oh shit, this guy's gonna drop his Buster AoE. And as an enemy, of course, he's way better at NPing than he is as a shitty 3-star servant. Fucker. We'll talk about that in a second. But like, there were some bad takes where I got anchor bombed, and I'm like, shit. But there were a lot of stall strats that worked in this run. Well, Shimosa's gonna be weird, because there's gonna be a lot of forced support Musashi and weird boss gimmicks. So we'll see. Maybe that'll take longer, at least.
Mechanically, a lot of these bosses were bitches. A lot of these mobs were fucking bitches. It's like, overall, I can't say I had a super fun time with the combat, per se. Like, they had some interesting effects, like, here and there, like, again, with Penth and Megalos, like, flashing in the background, but other than that, I can't really say there was something that, I mean, oh yeah, by the way, the torturers, they're scary. Those are scary, yo. And fuck Hydras! God, like, that Shangri-La is like, oh, I'm just gonna fight some Naga, surprise Hydra. What the fuck?
Did people really have a hard time with Hydras? I guess they must have. Hi, I have an NP3 Summertime Mo who's level 90. So Archer bosses are no problem. Even without her bonus damage, that's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking clatter you with an exploding summer kick. That's how I beat some Megaloses. Was just, I'm gonna get summer on this guy's ass. I will use every part of the buffalo, and the buffalo is my servant list. I'm not happy that I have an NP3 Summertime Mo, but I'll use her. So, is that everything about Agartha, as we are now an hour and 20 minutes in?
So...
Okay, coolio. Let's just say you didn't do that 5-star, which is also about Agartha. I made sure I don't know what kind of mood I was in writing these this morning, but I spiced them up a little. So let's begin with Captain Dick Mag himself. Columbus, or Columbo, as we like to call him in the community. I don't know why it's not really that shorter. I've just seen it a lot. So he is a quick arts buster writer with firmly middling stats for a 3-star. Right in the center there. Pretty average hit counts in NP gen. Pretty normal, what you'd expect. I think it's like 3s all around, and maybe a 2 on his buster. He has a very vanilla buster AoE, which only very slightly lowers crit rate until he gets an NP interlude. The starting percentage for the overcharge is 20%, which is not that great. When he gets his NP interlude, that will jump to 50% crit down on all enemies, which is like, oh, that's actually useful. First skill is Voyager of the Storm, which caps at 14% for both attack and NP. Second skill, Unyielding Will, gives him 1 HP guts for 3 turns, and up to a 30% NP battery. And final skill, Conquistador EX, gives him up to 20% Buster Up for 3 turns, and generates 15 stars. His only passives is Magic Resistance D and Writing B. So he's got a pretty boring kit. He's really only good for maybe a farming sweep. Like, he's got a battery, so you can stick him with a Kaleidoscope or an Invisible Element. Charge, double steroid, smash some guys. But not really impressive. Not compared to other 3-star riders, even. Meh. So let's talk about Wuzetan, Little Empress. This is an SR Assassin with a quick Arts Buster deck with round 3 hit counts in all, and very large NP gen to compensate, 0.87. So AQQ will actually generate decent NP, it should. Her attack is pretty in the middle of her class, and she doesn't get a lot of HP to compensate, so it's, a thing you want to keep aware of. Initial version of her NP is a single target quick, which gives herself critical up for 3 turns at a base 50%, and deals 3 turns of 1k damage poison to the target. After her interlude, which I believe this was an interlude, not a rank up, so we might get it early, who knows. Her NP will also buff strip, which is great. Everybody loves buff strip. That's what you use all those rule breakers for. So for skills, she has Torture Technique A for up to 20% defense down on a single target. You will recognize this from Carmilla and Liz. She has Imperial Privilege to heal and give her a chance to buff attack and defense. She doesn't really synergize, I think, with a lot of the characters who can increase buff chance, but maybe. Lakshmi's a quick saber, and she also has some stuff, so maybe there's a little bit of synergy there, but otherwise it's just mostly a heal, and maybe you get the attack or defense. And then she has Charisma of the Empress, which is a team 20% attack, and 20% quick up for 3 turns. The prototype quick support. So her only passive is Presence Concealment D, so she's basically a DPS type who does a little bit of team synergy. So, put her with other quick attackers, she will boost them and boost herself. She can, lower enemy defense, and try and raise her own crits. Pretty fun combo.
Yeah, it looks like basically you want to MP quick with her.
Yeah.
With a little bit of stars
and so that means that you'll presumably have slapped your target, who is a boss, with DOT, with defense down, with her first skill, and then you'll be ready to crit. And crit big, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And with Imperial Privilege, she has a little bit more longevity to make up for her, lower HP. She'll do a pretty decent self-heal, and maybe you'll get an attack and defense buff out of it. So, speaking of DPS, the Amazoness CEO herself, a much better characterization of her. I lost my mouth a little there. It's Penthesilea. I've heard it both ways. Most people just say Pen or Penth for short.
For reasons.
But, Penthesilea. She's a 4-star berserker. Her attack is right up there with Herc. She's like a few tens of points behind him. Her HP is also on the lower scale. She is quick arts buster, with crazy high NP charge over 1%, to make up for the fact that her hit counts are awful. Like, really, really bad. I think she has 3 on her 1 quick, and then her arts and buster are both 2. So this is not a hit count character. She has a big damage single target buster NP, which also lowers the enemy's attack. So, usual Berserker Gorilla, gonna smash some dudes. She has Charisma B that caps at 18%, if you're wondering. She has Golden Rule Beauty, even though she's technically not a quote-unquote adult. This gives her 3 turns of just straight-up debuff immunity, and 3 turns of NP gain, which is 10 to 20%. So hey, she might actually generate NP. Who knows? And then finally, her special skill, Roar of the God of War. By the way, holy shit localization, you could have made that a lot shorter and better. I would have just gone with Roar of Ares or something. Roar of War God? I don't know, but a lot of qualifiers. Anyway, it gives the team 3 turns of Buster Plus, caps at 20%, and gives Penth herself 3 turns of special attack versus Greek males on 50 to 100%. That's right, at max level. This will double her damage versus Greek males, which, not a huge list, but important. Hey, do you not like Herc fights? Penth. Achilles coming out later? Penth. Orion, because technically it's Orion and not Artemis, and thus counts as male? Penth. Sorry with that, throat was a little dry. Had a little stretching. Where was I? Oh yeah, so basically, got a lot of damage. Her passives are Madness Enhancement EX and Divinity B for all that sweet damage goodness. So, Penth is a great damage berserker, though she lacks the survivability of Herc. The only defensive ability she has is debuff immunity. And she trades on it, though, for having a special trait damage, which means the servants she targets are super fucked. Like, she's got a buster steroid, she's got an attack steroid, and then you get up to, like I said, like 100% bonus damage on her NP. That dude's dead. That dude is fucking dead. And trust me, I know. I tanked quite a few Outrage Amazons. And hey, remember, Lucky, how we talked about there's a Yukishtera campaign 2?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's some new servants with that. Let's talk about them.
Oh! That means it's time for some new servant deets?
Yeah, let's do some new servant deets. So, first up, Arjuna Altar. New, limited SSR Berserker. He has pretty high attack, but not the best. And pretty high HP, but not the best. You're sensing a theme here. So, hey, also speaking of Berserkers, quick, arts, buster. Low hit on the arts, so high NP gain, but he's got a decent amount of hits on his quick and buster cards, so that's interesting. I think it's like 4 and 4, and then the arts is like 2.
Oh, nice.
So his first skill is Anti-Evil Unique, which gives him 3 turns of attack up, which goes from 10 to 30%, and has further attack up versus debuffed enemies by 30 to 50% for those 3 turns on a minimum. That is wrong. That is a 5-turn cooldown. I wrote that as 3. No, it's not that good, but it's a minimum 5-turn cooldown. So you get that going. He does a lot of damage boost. His Transcendental Clairvoyance, dude, I know what that's like, gives him a 10 to 20% NP battery, which is great. So he's K-Scope compliant, guys. And a gross star weight bonus on his Buster cards for 3 whole turns. It's like 6 or 8,000% up star weight on his Buster cards alone. I haven't done the exact math. He's a Berserker, so his star weight is low, but that's like a lot of multipliers. So he should probably suck up stars on his Buster cards. And then, this is also another 5-turn minimum. Lastly, Light of Soul gives him 3 turns of Scaling Guts, and 3 turns of 1 to 2k HP regen to keep him alive in a pinch. To cap it all off, he has an AoE Buster NP, which first debuffs all enemies with Buster resistance down, based on Overcharge, starts at 20%. Also, hey, remember Pent's passives? How about Madness Enhancement EX and Divinity EX for more damage? So, Arjuna Altar, or Arjuna Altar, as I like to say, just, cut out the spaces. Pretty basic gorilla kit. You want to NPBB with all of his steroids, and he'll deal mad buster crits. Mm-hmm. And potentially he'll live long enough for you to set that shit all up again because of his guts and healing. Like the wombo combo of, oh yeah, so I'm going to increase my own damage by 30% overall and stack another 50, so that probably adds to 80% up. Gonna give myself extra 20% on your Buster resistance for my Buster card NP, so yeah, you're just fucked. And then afterward, I'm gonna hit you with 2 Buster crits. It's nasty. But this high level of burst damage might also be a little bit outdated, like versus a boss, so I don't know. If you don't have a Berserker yet, who you use for farming hands, this guy goes right up there with Mama, or any other, Lancelot's, anybody else you've got in there. So, yeah. Pretty fun. So, Ashvathaman? Dunno. From this point forward, he is just Ash and or Wheelie Boy.
Wheel Boy!
He is a story-locked SR Archer. A terrible shame, but, it happens. With pretty decent stats for it, he is just below Fujino in attack, and Fujino is the highest attack SR Archer right now. And just a little bit above her in HP. He has a quick Arts Buster deck, a little bit unusual for an Archer. I think about half of them are Arts, so this is an interesting type, but you'll see why when we talk about his skills later. Decent hit counts and NP gain to compensate the single Arts. He has a single target Buster NP, which removes defensive buffs and does bonus damage based on how low his HP is. If you've used either of the Ann and Marys and a couple of other servants, you should be pretty familiar with this trick. So it's basically like the lower his HP is, the higher his special damage multiplier is on his NP, and it's a single target Buster, so it's gonna hurt. So his first skill is a 20 to 30% NP battery and a 1-turn invincible. So this is good if you need his NP right now. So you're like, oh shit, my HP is really low. Let me turn invincible and charge my NP before I die. Pretty good one. So second skill is called Violation of Chivalry. It gives him 3 turns of 20 to 30% Buster up and allows him to apply Defense Down on normal hits 3 times over 5 turns. The Defense Down scales up to 20%. Which I believe would stack if you're beating up the same guy. Minimum 5-turn cooldown. And then finally, Knight of the Emperor gives him 3 turns of 20 to 30% quick up, and the same percentage bonus on quick crits. So your crits on quick cards will be increased by that amount also. 3 times 5 turns. Very interesting attempt to build a hybrid character. So obviously, his NP is Buster, but you get those quick crits, he can do a lot of damage with those too. Very interesting. So, he has Magic Resistance A, Independent Action EX, so his crits are very powerful, Divinity A, and a unique passive called Rage's Embodiment. He's very angry. This gives him 5% Buster Up passive and 10% Buster Crit Up passive, and a complete immunity to mental debuffs. That is right, this character cannot be charmed, he cannot be inflicted with fear or confusion. Fear is a little bit more common. Confusion is, I think, literally only Kotaro's NP, but Charm is great, and also some other stuff. And lastly, my personal favorite, the one that's gonna kill me over this banner in 2 years, the Doctor is in. It's time for Asclepius, the 3-star Storylock caster. As you might expect from a silver caster and a healer, his attack isn't the best, but his HP is pretty close to Babbage, who is the top of that group, so he's got a little bit of HP to work with. He is, of course, being a caster. Quick, arts, buster. Hopefully I didn't say an extra arts in there, but yeah, caster deck. Though he has low hit counts, so his NP gen is pretty high. Like, I think he's at 2s across the board, and I'm shook. But he will get arts changed, so it doesn't fucking matter. His NP is arts, and of course, it is support. It gives all other allies, so not him, so watch his HP bar. It gives all other allies 1 time of guts for 3 turns, which caps at 3k HP, 1 time of debuff immunity for 3 turns, and HP regen for 3 turns, which is OC based, and starts at 1k. So, pretty decent. Team Guts is good. Everybody knows that from Irie. Not a burst heal, but a heal over time. That debuff immunity is cool, though. But, I think his skills are arguably better than his NP, and we'll talk more about that in a second. But, first up, speaking of those skills, though, Medicine God EX is a targetable heal of 3k to 5k HP, which also gives that ally 50% up to 50% debuff resist for 3 turns at maximum level every 5 turns. That's a pretty good heal rate. Second skill is Child of Apollo. This gives him a pretty high chance to NP seal. The base chance is 80, the final chance is 100%, and increases team NP gain by up to 30%. So, pretty decent team support. Seal somebody's NP, get ready to do some action. Third skill is Snake Charmer. This is a team debuff cleanse. That's right, on a skill, team debuff cleanse.
Oh.
And a team NP battery for up to 20%. Everybody loves those. It is only compensated for by a long cooldown. I think it's 7 turns at its shortest. It starts at like 9 turns. But still, dude, team debuff cleanse. Fucking A. Love those. That's the thing that hurts me the most about not having a Badia Lily. So for passives, he has Territory Creation A, of course. So, hey, guess what? His arts cards generate NP. He has Item Creation EX, so that NP seal is going to stick a lot more than you think it will. And Divinity A. The only real downside is that being a
Divinity.
Oh yeah, no, there's shitloads of gods. I think that's a theme with Lost Belt 4. Lots of gods. Gods everywhere. Because in case you didn't know...
I'm talking about those high levels of divinity, too, here.
Well, also, yeah, so that's the thing. I'm not sure what's up with Ash. He's supposed to be like a vessel for Shiva, so I don't know if it's like supposed to be a pseudo-servant type thing, or he's actually like descended directly from a god. That I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. Arjuna Altar is EX, I'm sure, because of his weird Lost Belt circumstances where he's got like a lot of gods crammed in there. He's fused with the essence of a lot of divine spirits. Asclepius, though, while he was a mortal dude, after Zeus killed him with a thunderbolt, Apollo raised him to the god of medicine and stuck him in the sky as the constellation of Ficus, the snake charmer. So yeah, he is much like Herc, he is a legit god. Not as a servant, he's not summoned in his godly forms, but that dude's a god in the future. So that's why he's got real high divinity. And also, he was promoted to the divinity himself, and was also a direct descendant of a divine powerhouse, being Child of Apollo. So, the only real downside is that being a story lock, he's hard to NP5, so to max out the amount of guts he gives, but arguably his skills are better than his NP, like, that team debuff cleanse and battery, and then that up to 5k heal, those are the real winners, so it might not hurt him too much. But yeah, Lucky, were you going to say something about Asclepius there?
I was just going to say, his papers check out.
They do. He's good. Like I said, he's my personal favorite from the batch, and he's going to give me one heck of a conundrum in 2 years. Because it's a, the first banner is permanent, but I like those characters a lot, but the second banner is all limited in story locks, and I'm like, Also, hey, lots of people are complaining about not enough dudes in FGO. Hey, here's, between the first 2 banners, there's 4 of them. There's twice as many dudes as ladies.
Well, like I was saying, it seems like recently, it seems that the story chapters is how you get your guys nowadays, mostly.
Yeah, I know some people do one, and like, there's a couple of like summer male characters, I'm like, that'd be great. Hawaiian Shirt Coup would be good. Arguably, you could make him a costume, but if you want to make him his own standalone character, you could probably do something with that.
Well, like, the thing is, like, this is the thing that was specific. Is like, what, like, this is ask, like, what do you want out of a summer servant? Do you just want a dude and, like, showing off his abs and being sexy? Because that's all you need for that is a costume.
And arguably, many, as we saw from the first summer event, many male servants already don't even need a costume. That's just one of their ascension levels, is fuck shirts.
Yeah, fuck shirts. It's like, you can't really say you want them from different lore reasons, because I don't think there's actually a summer that's actually based on thing. It's like, that's actually based on actual, like, stories. It's like, all of them is like, nah, we're just gonna take the story and boom, now the summer. Swimsuits! Yeah! Now we'll give them some crazy ass summer skills, and
yeah. So I know there, like, some are like, well, I'd like to see a servant with a new kit, and I'm like, that's okay, that's a valid reason. You wanna see this servant in a different look or series of looks, because sometimes the multiple ascensions of summer costumes are pretty cool, and like new kit, that I understand. Okay, that's valid. At the same time, I'm also like, there's some male servants where I'd be like, you guys already have really good kits and entries, and like, I'm hurting for potential ladies here. There are quite a few females that I would still like, and there's not enough to go around. So, like, I'm already probably not going to get some of the characters I would really appreciate. Like, God help me, Swimsuit Medusa. That would be great. Drawn by Takeuchi, you can pull that off. But I somehow feel like I'm not going to get what I want. So, it's a competitive slot. I understand some of the concerns, but also it's like, this is very tightly packed.
Well, give it a couple months and we will find out.
Well, we'll see what they do. Like I said, so for, like, the Knights of the Round, they really just need those costumes, because other than maybe Gawain has some weird googliness with one of his skills, but you could probably fix that. Like, all of the Knights of the Round have pretty decent kits, and they don't really need they don't need, like, a new NP and skills to represent their summariness. They could just do their normal stuff, but in their cool swimsuits and sunglasses. And, Lancelot's tan. But anyway, that's a discussion for a different time. I'm sure we'll have plenty of, whodunit and called it, and hey, I'm pretty sure at several points we have made episodes where we have wildly speculated on who's going to be Summer, so, you can go back in the archives and, figure out how right we are in a couple months.
Honestly, I don't think we were right at any of them.
We made some general ideas of what we want and what we thought might happen already in the, I think this year for the Summer 4.
My wild prediction right now is MHX Altar Summer.
Yeah. That's a pretty decent one. I don't even know if that's that wild, because we do seem to be going in sequence.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people, though, want Summer Lancer Artoria, and I would be okay with this.
Give both.
Yeah, you can do both. If you want me to predict based on what Takeuchi has drawn, it's like, we're out of Jeans, we're out of Course Sabers, so it's pretty much gotta be an Okita now. And personally for what Arco would be like, I could see Summer Drake. I both do and do not want Summer Kiara. I feel like that would be a Danger Zone situation.
No, Danger Zone situation, we're getting Summer Liz.
Well, I don't know, you could put her in a tasteful, like, beach idol thing. That would not be a Danger Zone. My personal Danger Zone is Summer Carmilla.
But that's such a good Danger Zone.
That is a good Danger Zone, but my wallet is not going to enjoy that zone. That's a bad zone for my bank account, not for me personally. I'm happy there.
Oh, bless Fue and Regura for fucking Carmilla Dungeon.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Carmilla art. There was recently the Tapioca Challenge thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really blown up on FGO fan arts, which is pretty fun. Just the other day, I saw a Helena one where she's got her little floating guy holding it up to completely and utterly cheat. Because she's a noodle. So that's that.
Noodle.
So that's all my new stuff. We're at an hour 45.
Solid
I'll edit out. Solid episode. Glad I decided to stop for dinner beforehand. Okay. So let's see. So next week, do we want to announce we're probably going to delay the show again because the panel's going to be on the 6th, so that would be kind of weird of us to talk before it.
So you want basically... what time is the panel on this?
Actually, we should check. That's a good idea. Let's see what time it is. If it's in like the middle of the night, then no, probably not. Not worth it. It's somewhere.
What is the AX fucking?
Actually, hold on. I think they probably got on their website right away. I will go check. A lot of our faffing around will be edited down. So that's coming up. We'll obviously have you more details on whatever crazy dumb shit comes out of the new Gouda Gouda. That'll be mind blowing, I'm sure.
Oh, here we go. Let's see. 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Saturday, July 6th.
That is going to be late. We might just have to go ahead and do the show and do a rough prediction of what will definitely be in the anniversary stuff, and then like talk about the stream and what actually happened the next week, just because it's late.
Yeah, but what I can probably honestly say is if it's going to be that late, we can probably all watch it live, so we can all get.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to hang out in our community and watch the stream, assuming they're streaming it.
I'm assuming they are.
I would assume honestly, they are. They did last year.
I'm gonna be very shook if they do not.
Yeah, they streamed the panel last year. I would hope they stream it this year. I know some panels they don't stream, but some of that is, I think, tech stuff. Like, for instance, they recorded the SakuraCon panel, so it might just have been that they didn't have the infrastructure to, like, beam it out. Hopefully at AX, because they did so last year, they will, and we don't have to worry about, because I know there were, like, last time at SakuraCon, not the most recent one, but the one before, where you were there, like, photography and recording was actually discouraged at the panel because, Rumi was there, and so, like, contracts and shit. But, hey, like I said, they streamed the last one last year, so it should be streamed. We'll see the details. I'm sure it'll be on their Twitch. So we'll probably not delay the show because it's going to be later, but we'll remind you again next week to tune in with us and,
we'll give you the most solid of reminder.
See how correct we are. Let's see. What else? Is there anything else I want to talk about future shows? Probably not, so we're going to talk about...
Again, reminder... We will be doing because it was brought up, we will be doing public shows again when we probably hit our 200 show mark, our 2,000 subscriber mark, and what was the third one?
2 years.
Oh yeah, and our 2 years. Remember, that's a lot of twos.
Yeah, we're coming. Well, it's 100, not 200, so that's probably 100.
Why. Excuse me.
Yeah, this is only 94, dude. Not that deep. Also, for other shows, we're also coming up on What's Up number 50. So, that's probably another good mark to do a live What's Up.
Yeah.
We're at, like, What's Up 45 or 46, so technically that's closer. But we'll talk more about that on What's Up. And if you don't know, What's Up with Omega and Lucky is our typically weekly show where we talk for about twice as long about probably sometimes 10 times as many things, and sometimes not that many things, but it's just whatever. We talk about other gacha games, we talk about video games, we're going to talk about anime. We're finally going to talk about anime again. I need to see if I can finish the Kakegurui season after this is done. Or not. I'm pretty close, though. Anyway, so there'll be lots of stuff to talk about. And that's what we do. We talk about stuff. It's just what's up with you. What's up with me. That's all we call it that. Okay. My voice is starting to die a little bit, so let's wind down.
Righto.
So yeah, I guess there's nothing else to announce about future stuff. Just, hey, some news is coming. We'll talk to you about it when it gets there. Stay tuned for future shows. Stay tuned for What's Up. I will remind everybody I said that there will in fact be a Wanted Homes sometime next week. It'll be ready to go before the thing happens. And, so I guess we'll see you there. So, if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. How did you think Agartha went? Let us know. And also, you can consider joining our Discord. The link is in the description. That's where we do our live shows and hang out. And that's also where we tend to yell at streams and stuff. And, of course, if you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe. Not only will that get us closer to that 2K mark that we're looking for, but also it means you get access to our videos when they're posted, and you know stuff. And we post most of these videos pretty regularly. And, of course, even if you're already subbed, consider hitting that bell for notifications, so you always know when we post a new video, just in case something weird does happen. And I post a video at, like, midnight. I've been known to do this. And, of course, like it says at the front of the show, you consider supporting us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. As little. You can get access to our entire back catalog of audio downloads, all the way since we started doing them that way. And you can get the show early that way. Like, not quite 24 hours, but usually actually, heck, it might even be more than 24 hours in some cases. Basically, the audio is way easier to edit and upload, so that goes up first. So you get first crack at the shows for very little. It's like giving me a quarter a show. And then I split that quarter in half and give half of it to Lucky. Anyway.
I got a lot of half quarters.
We're gonna make a quarter gun, actually.
Bang, bang.
Honestly, if we did that, that would probably be a good YouTube video. But that's a discussion for a completely different time. Consider supporting us on Patreon so that we can build quarter guns and, I don't know, shoot them at stuff. Phone books, I don't know.
Oh, actually, since I'm talking about it, I actually do want to talk a little bit about our patrons. I have to give a big thank you to our patrons, because it was because of you guys. I was able to actually make a couple purchases that I plan on using for the channel. So, first off, as people might have seen, like I stream games now, live with Lucky, whatever. Unfortunately, I've been so focused on this, I'm gonna have to up and own. I literally forgot about my live with Lucky show, just a straight one. So I don't know, I was planning something with that.
You did a lot of big streams, though.
Yeah, I have like a couple 8-hour streams in there, and I did this stuff. But I had put up a vote of games that I could play and what people want to see, and they voted Shovel Knight. I didn't own Shovel Knight, but thanks to all the patrons out there, I was actually able to purchase it. And there are now like 2 4-hour streams on our channel of me playing Shovel Knight. After this stream, I'm probably going to take a small break, and I'll get working on Shovel Knight again, because there's 2 more campaigns I have to complete in that game. Second purchase is that patrons were able to fund, is I was actually able to buy a legit copy of Clip Paint Studio, which is a really solid art program, which as soon as I get a better tablet, which is, still in the works, we'll start seeing more art assets that Lucky will start pumping out, because I've suddenly realized that the reason why my art is being so shitty right now is because my tablet is so shitty right now. It's like the printer sensitivity and everything is just off or doesn't want to work, and it just kills the art flow. So once I can get a new tablet, I'll have a new tablet, I'll have a new art program, and look at that. So again, to the patrons, you are the ones who funded those things. You're going to be funding future things, like whatever games I stream or whatnot. Art, all that stuff.
I need to figure out if my capture card software is going to work with a Switch, because I'll probably get one of those recently. Not right away, because I think the first game I'm going to get is going to be Breath of the Wild. That would be a weird one to stream or record, just me. I don't know. I feel like that would be a little too open and empty. I don't know.
I fucking streamed Stardew Valley. That was just me running around the same area, like planting crops and shit, and yelling at fucking me, and yelling at shit.
I don't know. One thing that I don't know.
Oh yes, me constantly yelling that I forgot something and I have to run back. That was the big.
Check out Live with Lucky Stardew. There's a lot of hours. If you're going somewhere, you're going on a trip, you're gonna go up to your relatives for a while, go on a little beach vacay, and you just need lots of Lucky, just go ahead and cue this up. I'm getting real scratchy now. But yes, thanks to patrons for continuing to support this. God knows how many times, especially as we roll into summer, the battery backup for my computer, my uninterruptible power supply, has preserved a video in process, which is just keeps this machine running efficiently, and also probably has meant I don't need to buy a brand new computer quite as soon, because listen, your computers really don't like being turned on and off suddenly. Kills the hard drives. They hate that. All right, well, now that we've made this, at least in the raw recording terms, almost 2 hours, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We said all our thanks and all our things. We'll see you guys next time, and I don't know, I'm gonna go drink a huge thing of water. We out.
Lucky out.